Humanity is on the cusp of a colossal shift in understanding, one that will completely rewrite our relationship with reality itself. I'm Leanne Rose, psychotherapist, advisor to some of the world's most influential leaders, and the channel for a structural intelligence known as the Galila Collective. On this podcast, we explore what becomes possible when consciousness is understood not as a byproduct of the brain, but as the fundamental substance of the universe itself, capable of completely reshaping the material world we live in. Welcome to Consciousness First.
Hi gorgeous souls, welcome back to Consciousness First. Today, the GC are going to be giving their take on how you can get started with reality creation at this level. So let's dive in. Hey! Hello dear souls. So, if we were a human being alive at this point in human history, experiencing this moment right now, and deciding, I could get on board with this creating my own reality malarkey, how do I get started? Now, in many ways, those of you that are virgins to this idea of creating your own reality actually are somewhat at an advantage to those who have been playing and experimenting in fifth dimensional old paradigm pieces for quite some time. Will take a lot more time to develop skill sets needed, but there will not be the elements that will hold you back that some of those old timers will bring with them to this experience. But this is the piece we want you to focus on. If you fundamentally believe that reality is matter first, if you believe that it takes moving things around in the external world before you can transform your life, we would not even attempt to practice manifestation at this level. First, we would learn far more about what consciousness actually is. First, we would explore more about what it actually means to be the source point of creation embodied. Now, for some of you, you may be asking, that sounds wonderful, DC, but where do we even start with such a thing? You start within your own individual contemplation. Remember, you are source embodied. And the best person to awaken you to that truth is yourself. What we would start with, dear souls, is sitting in silent reflection with self on what this really means for you personally for at least 5 minutes a day. Here is what that will actually do at the quantum level. You taking the action step of sitting with self and allowing yourself to feel into the question, what if substance of the universe truly is consciousness itself? And what if I truly am that very substance? What would this mean for me, and how would I move differently in the world? Yourself as source will then move to meet you with an answer. Now, what we are wanting to highlight here, many of you have been fixated in third dimensionality, black and white logic. It's either here or it isn't. You have not yet found the love of the journey. But be curious about how this unfolds throughout the day, weeks, months, years, the more you ask this question. It is this development over time that will actually allow you to build out the internal structures that allow creation of reality to happen at this level. But for those of you that are a little more impatient and are wanting to try out some things now that you can put into practice, we want you to identify a key thing that you think you desire. Now, we talk about human desires as third dimensional desires. They are wonderful, wondrous pieces to play with in this game of life. But they are threaded from illusion. This is the idea of playing within the game. Call to mind something that you think you want. Can be a house, can be a car, can be a relationship. Maybe it is a particular number in your bank account. And first and foremost, we want you to connect with the idea just for a moment. We want you to entertain and play in the idea that what you want will never be available to you. Breathe that in. You can feel the sadness, feel the grief. And it may take a moment for you to really feel this. And it might be that you have to practice it over time to really let it sink in. But we want you to get to a place where you genuinely begin to feel that this external thing that you think you want is not an option. The higher brain, the creative thinking will then kick in. And one of two things will happen. You will either begin to think of alternative things that you want, or, and this is the piece that we want to develop, to hone, to refine, the undertone of what it is you really want will become known to you. Well, if I cannot have that, there are other things that can create the feeling state I actually was looking for in the first place. You see, dear ones, when we divorce ourselves from the dependency of the external world, our divine desires become known to us, i.e. the feeling state we actually want to feel is revealed. And you will notice, dear ones, for those of you that are subtly attuned, that in order for you to become aware of the feeling state that you actually want to feel, you actually have to feel it. So let us practice this. When we ask you what it is that you want, you will go searching internally for what it is that you want. What most human beings do first is that they think of an external thing. But what they have not recognized is that what they have gone searching for first is the feeling state they actually want to feel. And then they have attached this to an external thing that they think will create the feeling. But in order for you to generate this idea of the external thing you think you want, first you must feel the feeling you are looking for. And this is the answer to all issues, dear ones. When you can locate the fact that what you want to feel is already available in the now moment, and you learn the correct energetic skills to dial up this frequency and to allow it to be more than enough, and you combine this with the truth that internal reality creates external world, it will not be long before the external world shifts to meet you in the frequency that you have animated, which is what I desire exists within me right now. Now, the first step to truly anchoring this in is beginning to recognize where this flicker of a feeling is truly already available. Now, people like to think about affirmations as tools for manifestation, but they are simply words if there is no substance behind them. Same with crystals. If you do not believe that these beautiful, pretty rocks have meaning, they will be nothing but pretty, beautiful rocks. May dress the space up a bit, but they hold no energetic power unless they are infused with it. It is the same with affirmations. Many people believe that if I repeat an affirmation long enough, it will become truth in my system, but this is doing it backwards, dear ones. What many people inadvertently do when they are playing with affirmations, they say the words, but the substance behind them actually is infused with lack. We say, I love myself, but actually what is emitted from my field every single time I say I love myself is how much I do not love myself. And so I end up locking this in over and over and over. The universe does not speak English. It does not speak words. It does not speak French, Japanese, German. It speaks the language of energy. You are commanding reality through your energetic field every single second of every single day, but most of you do not even realize you are a part of the conversation. You think you are telling the universe the reality you wish to create, and you are actually doing the opposite. So first and foremost, the skill set that is essential in mastering this consciousness-first approach is beginning to recognize where every single frequency in existence already exists inside of you. This is what we mean by everything exists inside of you. Everything you desire and want exists inside of you. These are not potentialities. People think about this as if the timeline I want already exists in the cosmos somewhere separate from the now moment, and this is why you are not manifesting the thing you want. It's because you are still focused on the external element. You are still focused on the absence of what you want, instead of actually allowing the truth of what already exists in the now moment to become your main point of focus and allow this to amplify. This is the key focus we suggest for anybody wanting to lock in this new level of reality creation. And have patience. When you are embodying yourself as source, you are in no rush. There is no need for the thing to be built out. You are simply at play in this wondrous hologrammatic playground that you have created for yourself to experience self from infinite angles. You are more in love with the journey than the outcome. This is not just a cliched saying. It is the answer to being the most alive you possibly can be within this universal game you are playing with yourself as consciousness. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye. So there you go, my loves. I would love to hear from you. Try this out. Give it a play. Give it a whirl. Play with it. See how it feels in your body. And notice how life responds to you when you do this. This was the most powerful part of my journey. It wasn't just playing in my own little head. It was actually about engaging with life as life began to speak back to me. In our recent downloaded transmission series that they're moving through me at the moment called Source Channel, we talk about this idea that life is speaking to us constantly, and we are speaking to life constantly. Every single second of every single day, you are in conversation with yourself as consciousness. And when you learn to direct that conversation, when you recognize that you are the director of that conversation, that's when everything changes. And it is so worth the frustration at first when you're just trying to get into this. It is so worth the moments of feeling a little bit nuts. Because what's on the other side, the word magical literally does not even cut it. It just doesn't cut it. It's a completely different stratosphere of existence. And it is the most fun I have ever had. So I would love for you to get involved. Try it, test it, come and let us know. How are you finding it? What pieces are coming up for you? And what questions do you want us to answer more about? What are you experiencing that you'd love the Galela Collective's perspective on to take you even further? We will see you in the next one, my loves. Bye for now. Thanks for listening, my loves. Since we're newly launched and we want to get this out to as many people as possible, we've got a super juicy invitation for those of you willing to share this podcast with your community. If you share us on social stories, tag us, and leave a review, you'll be entered into a prize draw to win an exclusive 3-month immersive one-to-one experience with myself and the GC to crack you into this new dimension of awareness. For the lucky winner, we'll be breaking down our super conscious manifestation methodology so you can start implementing this in your life and start manifesting at this level. But every share counts, my loves. And to say a massive thank you to everyone contributing to getting this information as far and wide as possible. If we make it into the top 100, we'll be giving everyone that's shared us and left a review one of our most powerful transmissions. This is one of our clients' all-time favorites, and it's been responsible for some of our biggest breakthroughs and client results. You can find out more about the competition and other ways to work with us in the show notes below. We'll see you in the next one.